So let's go into our Wuji stance. Feet flat on the floor, feet pointed more or less straight forward. Do what feels comfortable, what feels natural. Bend the knees just slightly. Bring the hips such that they're slightly forwards. The tailbone is pointing straight down. Feel like the top of the head is being lifted upward, elongating the spine. Tuck the chin in just a little bit. Let the shoulders drop down and forward. Let the arms just hang, relax. Breathe in and out through the nose. And as you breathe in through the nose, let the abdomen expand outward, pulling the breath all the way down. We then pause. And then as we exhale, the abdomen compresses back towards the spine, pushing the breath all the way up and out. And then we pause before the next inhalation. Focus on the breath. Notice the quality of the air as it enters your nostrils, how it's different when it exits your nostrils. As you breathe, feel yourself sinking into the earth. Feel that energy flowing through you, connecting down into the center of the earth. Feel that connection. And as you breathe in, feel the earth rise up to meet you, supporting you, becoming a part of you. Step out to a wider stance. Let's start with water waves. So we're just going to move from the waist, side to side. Let the arms just kind of drift through the energy field around you, what the Chinese call the Wei Qi. Nice and relaxed. See if you can sense that energy field with your hands. At least feel the air moving through your fingers. Turn around a little bit further each time, looking over the shoulder. And then just pick up a little momentum and then let the arms strike the body. We're not lifting the arms at all. It's the momentum that's causing the arms to strike the body. So the arms hang, as the Chinese say, like ribbons of silk. If you remember, the Karate Kid was either 2 or 3. He had that drum in Okinawa, the 2 beads, and all he would do is spin the drum, and the beads would hit both sides of the drum. Same idea here. The arms are basically along for the ride. When they come in contact with your body, they're stimulating first the lower dantian, the lower energy center, which is located just below the belly button. And directly behind that point is the point we call the Ming Men point. Rough translation is the door of life. Hence, this posture is called knocking on the door of life. We're also stimulating the organs of the body, the meridians or the energy pathways of the body, loosening up the spine, a major pathway of the energy. Look over the shoulder, get a little further around each time. Good. Now, as you turn, the opposite foot is you're going to come up onto the toe. Stimulating what we call the bubbling spring. Kidney 1 point at the bottom of your foot, the beginning of the kidney meridian. And come back to flat-footed. Now this time, the same side that you turn towards, you're going to lift the toes. Lean back. Few more. And come back to flat-footed. Back to water waves, just letting the hands move through the air. Let's let the arms now move side to side, using our weight shift to kind of push them along. And then we're going to lift them up. You're going to imagine you're holding the moon or a ball between your hands. We're going to lift that ball up and over the shoulder and look back at it and bring it back down and switch to the opposite side. Breathe out as you come up. Breathe in as you come back to center. Slow it way down. Looking back at the moon. Good. A few more. And back to center. Good. Let's just do a little purging. I'm sure all of you, just like me, were a little anxious with a little late start. So let's just get rid of that excess energy. Let's do horse shivers. I haven't done that in a while. So we're going to bend down, stay with the wider stance so that you can bend down. You're going to bring your arms up. As you float up, you're going to bring the energy up as you're breathing in, bringing all that energy up, out your hands. And at the last second, feel all that tension. And then this one you blow out through the mouth and just go. So we breathe in. One more. Good. Let's open up the spine a little more, the hips, the lower back. Let's do the spinal cord breathing. So go back to a little wider than shoulder width, just so you have a nice stable platform. The key to this exercise or this posture is your hips. My arms come up, they're bent at roughly a 45-degree angle. I'm going to stick my butt out, or I'm going to push my hips back. Then keeping them back, I'm going to look to the ceiling, chest to the ceiling as I arch the back. Then I'm going to pull the elbows down, pulling the shoulder blades down and together. Then I breathe out. I'm going to bring the arms around, palms facing me, forearms come together, hips move forward now towards the elbows as you tuck your chin into your chest and curl your back in the opposite direction. We pause here, we get a little extra stretch, and we breathe in. Pause, breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Try to open that chest as you're going up and push it up towards the ceiling as you look up towards the ceiling, and then we collapse in the exact opposite direction. Great for opening up the spaces between the vertebrae. You want to stay within your comfort zone as you would with all of these postures. Never experience any discomfort or pain. If you do, limit the motion. This is a particularly good posture if you have any lower back issues, especially something like sciatica. Over time, spaces between the vertebrae open up and the pressure comes off the sciatic nerve. One more time. Let your hands just drop down. Just for a moment, kind of check in with yourself. Notice what's going on inside, where the energy is moving, where it's not, where you may have some muscle tension or pain. Don't give it a moment's thought. Just by identifying these things, we facilitate healing. Chinese say the mind directs the qi. Let's put our hands on our hips. Actually, let's start first. Let's turn the hands, put them over the kidneys, over the lower back. Just give it a nice rub. Try to feel warmth building there. Now take your hands and just take them off just a little bit and see if you can feel the energy coming out of the palms, going into the kidneys. If it's helpful, visualize dark blue light coming out of your hands, filling the kidneys. Kidneys are tied to the water element. Not too surprising. And let's clear the daimai, or the belt channel. So we're going to reach around both hands, basically to the Ming Men point, to the spine. We're going to drag your fingers across the body over to the hip. We're going to do that 3 times. So that's 1, 2. Now this last one, you're going to bring it to the hip, push it down the leg and off the toe. Then come to the other side. Cross 3 times. And then down the leg and off the toes. Good, let's do that one more time each side. 1, 2, 3, and out. 1, 2, 3, and out. Good. So now go ahead and put your hands on your hips. Let's do hip rotations. So the head doesn't move. It's all out of the hips. Nice big circles. Just relax into it. Let the circles get bigger and bigger if you can. Try not to let the shoulders and the head move so that you know it's all out of the hips. And one more time and we're going to reverse. Good. Now just using your coccyx, your tailbone. Imagine you have a pendulum from the tailbone. Just draw little circles in the ground below you. So this is a very, very small movement. And reverse. Good, and just relax. Take the hands, come back to the kidneys. We're going to push down the legs, the outside of the legs, around the toes, up the inside of the legs, through the crease here, which we call the qua. Come into the middle, and then go back around and start over. So we breathe out as we go down. Breathe in as we come up. Just do that a couple of times. Stimulating the meridians that run up and down the legs. One more time. When you come up to the stomach, come up the right, down the left. Nice big circle here. And reverse. Good. Let's do a clearing to the lungs. So the feet are fairly close together. As we breathe in, we're going to gather the energy up through the bottom of the feet. We're going to pull up to the lungs as we come up onto our toes. Pause, and then breathe out as you go back to flat foot, extending the energy back down into the ground. So we breathe in. Breathe out. Last one. Really try to get up onto the toes. And down. Good. Put your hands on your hips. pick the leg up, doesn't matter which one. If I'm mirroring you, you'd be picking up your left leg. You're going to bring it around and then drop onto it, causing a vibration to come up the leg. Don't do it so hard that it hurts or it's jarring, just enough so that you get to feel those vibrations. It's called Buddha stomp. Stimulating the bones and the bone marrow. One more time each side. Good. Bring your feet a little closer together. Let's start out with flying. So back to the Wuji stance. Get nice and straight. And as you breathe in, just let the hands drift up a little bit. As you breathe out, they come down, remembering to pause between. Next one, they come up a little higher. And then again, higher. Never coming to even shoulder height. Once you feel you get that full range of motion for your wings, see if you can just kind of get into that zone where as you breathe in, the wrists, the arms just kind of float upward. And then we pause, and then they just kind of sink back down. You can move the knees just a little bit if you want as you sink down. You can drop down just a little bit. As you come up, you straighten up a little bit. Try to go super slow with the breath. So as you breathe in, pause, then I breathe out. I pause, breathe in. Crane soaring. Or actually, this is crane flying, sorry. We'll get to soaring crane or crane soaring in a minute. Just try to get into the zone here. Feet fairly close together. Now find a spot about 12 feet in front of you, or if you're less than 12 feet from a wall, just find a spot on the wall. Let that be your focal point. And as your wings come up onto a toe. And then go back down to the flat foot, then switch to the opposite side. Just get used to the weight shift here. Come up onto the toe, flat foot, shift weight. Good. Now we're going to focus on one side. You can pick whichever side you want. We're just going to come up on the toe on one side, keeping that focal point in your eyes at all times. Just get in to this nice, easy pattern. And then when you're ready, lift the foot off the ground with the wings and then put it back down. Nice and easy. Very nice. Now the full posture of crane soaring, which you don't have to do, stay with whatever's comfortable. And if you need a chair to support you on the side, that's even fine as well. The idea here is we stay with the foot up. One more time. Good. Shake it out. Let's move to the opposite leg. So come up onto the toe first. Get used to that. Get everything synchronized so that you don't even have to give this any thought. And then when you're ready, go ahead and just lift it off the ground and put it back down. And once that feels very natural, if you can, leave the foot off the ground. Do whatever's comfortable. There's no reason you have to do the full crane soaring. One more time. Lift and down. Good. Shake it out. Let's do swish, swish. The idea of that is we're going to be opening up the quad, the leg gates. So I'll mirror you. You're going to take your left leg. Now your balance should be pretty good. Still keep that focal point in your sight. You're going to lift the foot up. You're going to soccer kick to the side. If you need to, you can step down. The idea here is though you're going to keep the foot off the ground. You're going to kick to the side, then come back, but turn the foot out so that opens this area here, then lift the knee, then go back down. So it's swish, swish, open, close. Swish, swish, open, close. Cross, over, open. So you're really trying to open up that leg crease there, the quad. And again, if you have to touch at any point, don't feel badly about doing it. Do whatever feels comfortable. Do whatever feels right. One more time each side. Good. Make open fists and just tap up and down the quad. Help those energies moving through the leg gates. Good, then bring them around to the top part of your glutes. From the spine, not on the spine, but from the spine out to almost the hip bone, but not on the hip bone. Good, now take that tighter fist, knuckles in either side of your spine, and just rub up and down here. Good. And just stop for a moment, check in. And go to a wider stance. We're going to drop down, we're going to let our arms come up, and we're going to push outward. So it's again sort of like the flying motion, but a little different. So you rise up, as you rise up, and then push out. Good, one more time. And down. And now we're going to do what's called pushing grass. So come back to the feet about shoulder width apart, bringing the energy up as you breathe in. Then push outward. And then open the pathway through the grass and down. We breathe in. Breathe out. Use your hips a little bit, so as you come in, hips go back. So I'm kind of exaggerating here, just to give you an idea. Last one. Good. Bring the hands down so they're facing each other, palms facing each other. Picture there's a ball between your hands. See if you can feel that ball between your hands. That ball of energy pulses. So as you breathe in, let the hands drift apart about 3 inches. As you breathe out, come back to the starting point. Hands never touch. See if you can feel resistance in both directions, like pulling taffy as you go out, squeezing an inflated balloon as you go in. Just a couple seconds more. And then stop and just hold on to that ball. Turn the ball so your left hand is at the bottom. Take your right hand away. Come to a wider stance. You're going to turn to the side, lift that ball up and higher than your head, and you're going to turn it to the ground, push that energy down to the ground as the right hand sweeps across, gathering energy, forming a new ball, lifting it up and pushing it down. Breathing in as you go up and gathering the energy. Pause. Breathe out as you push it down to the ground. Lifting the chi ball. One more time each side. And down. Let the hands just float up as you breathe in. Float down as you breathe out. known as a bunch of different names: opening the door, Tai Chi opening. Doesn't matter. The key here is try to get to the point, just like in flying, where the breath controls the movement. And it's really the wrists that come up, the hands are just kind of along for the ride. See if you can feel as the hands come up, the back of the fingers rubbing up against something of substance. And as they go down, the fingertips rubbing against that same thing of substance. Lean back a little bit into your heels as you come up, into the toes as you go down. That makes this movement require even less effort. One more time. And just let them drift down. Go to a wider stance. Put your hands together in prayer position. And now you're going to slide one of the hands so they're now opposite. The inside arm, the elbow comes up. And then as you switch, the opposite elbow comes up. So for now, just rub the palms and get into this motion. So like rocking a baby. We're stimulating the Lao Gong points here, the points in the palms that are like mini chakras. A lot of energy comes out. So step out to a wide stance. And now we're going to shift our weight towards the side the elbow comes up. So the elbow comes up, I'm going to shift the weight as I look to the opposite side. And I'm going to come back to the center and shift back and forth with the breath, nice and slow. Breathe in, pause. Breathe out, back to center. Open up the stance more and more as you feel comfortable. One more time. And come back to center. Stay in the wide stance. Hands in the prayer position. Open them up, chest to the sky. Breathe in, pause, soak up that energy. Breathe out, bring it in. Now the opening to swimming dragon is very similar to stimulating the Lao Gong point that we just did. We'll do this one more time. Come into prayer position. This time we're not going to change the hands. We're going to push and look over. Then switch, push and look over. The fingers stay pointed towards the ceiling the entire time. Couple more. We're not going to go through the rest of the swimming dragon, at least not today. Come back to center. Again, just a couple of nice heart to the sky. Last one. Good. Walk it in. As long as we're in this position, let's do the arrow. So instead of completely prayer position, all the fingers are going to collapse inward except for the first finger. That's going to point straight up. We're going to take that, we're going to put that behind our head. So the fingers pointing to the ceiling. And we're going to bend down, do a crouch. All from the knees, not the waist. We're going to go up and push up towards the ceiling. So we breathe out as we go down. Pause. Breathe in as you go all the way up, and then pause, a little extra stretch here, and out. One more time. And let it come down in front of you. Let them drop down, bringing down the heavens. As you breathe in, gather the energy in the palms. Bring it up, pause. As you exhale, push that energy down through the top of your head, down your torso, down the legs into the ground. So we breathe in. Pause. Breathe out. One more time. And finish with one hand over the other, over the lower dantian, which is just below the belly button. You can either interlace the webs of the thumbs, or I personally like to hold the wrist. Doesn't matter which hand is on top. See if you can feel all that energy coming out of the Laogong point. You can picture white light, if that's helpful. Going into your body, about 2 inches below the belly button, about 2 inches inside your body. There's that little pearl, which is your lower dantian. Just allow that pearl to soak up that energy. Let your body relax and rock and sway as that energy moves from that little pearl, spiraling down your legs and up your torso. And as that energy courses through your body, it's removing any darkness, any energetic stagnation or blockages, dispelling negative thoughts and emotions, filling your body with a beautiful, warm, loving light, until every part of your body is aglow with this energy. Now let that energy expand outward beyond your physical body, encasing you in a protective cocoon. And just allow yourself to float weightlessly inside this cocoon. Become aware that you are a part of the universe, and the universe is a part of you. Begin to notice what it feels like to be safe. Feel that energy moving through and beyond you and become aware of what it feels like to be healthy. And as you float weightlessly inside this protective cocoon, become aware of what it feels like to be at peace. Take a deep breath in, gather those feelings, those understandings, and take them with you for the rest of the day.